Welcome to Discover Ramona, where we explore the people, places, and businesses that make it the best place to live. I'm your host, Valley, and I'm here with Jan Ryan. Hi, Jan.
Hi, Valley. How are you?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. I'm just kind of curious how things are going out there in the real estate market. I know maybe sales have slowed down a little bit. Is there a reason for that?
It's so interesting because I'm working with a number of buyers that are looking for properties.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have some properties for sale, and it feels like buyers are being super picky right now.
Yeah.
If it's not one thing, it's another really small thing. So I think people are still waiting a little bit. And another thing I found is ADUs have
Mm,
become so important. I mean, a property with an ADU is huge right now.
yeah.
And then I think one of the reasons buyers are holding off is the interest rates. I think maybe they're waiting for them to come down, waiting for things to happen. And I know you're right on top of that as a lender.
Yeah, I think like right now is a really opportune time to take advantage of maybe a buy down where the seller helps pay for your interest rate to come down a little bit, especially if, there's not a lot of activity that maybe they're willing to negotiate and they have some wiggle room to help give you a credit to lower your rate, whether temporarily or permanently, to make your mortgage a little more affordable. I think that's the way to go right now.
I think that's a great idea because we did see a lot of those early on when the
Hmm.
rates started climbing, but we're seeing less of those. So maybe it's off the radar and we should revisit.
Yeah, we need to bring it back,
Yep.
So who did you bring for us today?
Well, today, since it's early in the year, a lot of people have New Year's resolutions. I brought Anthony Abbott with ADMA Elite Training, and I
Oh,
figured he
wow.
could give everyone a pep talk.
All right, let's do it. Let's meet him. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know if you're going to get me motivated, guilt me into getting back into the gym. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. My name is Anthony, and I think you guys just introduced me. So I own ADMA Elite Training. A lot of people ask what ADMA stands for. It's literally just my initials.
Oh,
Anthony David Montillo Abbott. That's all it is.
Didn't
So
know that.
yeah, I just kind of thought it was just catchy when I first came up with my fictitious business name. But yeah, so we've been around since we started in 14. So we're over
yeah.
10 years now, and started off in a park and then kind of built it up from there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we're at. So we're on our third location. What I mean by that is we just kind of gradually grew and then got into bigger locations. Is
Okay.
what I mean by that. So very happy. We have an amazing clientele. I have amazing trainers that work with me, and I mean, yeah, I'm pretty blessed in that stretch. So what we specify in though is that we're not an open gym. So what we do is like an appointment only business. So we have boot camps at specific times, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 5 p.m., and then everything else is personal training. And our clients are, wide variety. I work with stroke victims. I work with people, young athletes. I work with athletes that are in college, etc. And then we also just work with people that just want to get in shape. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So we work with all walks of life, which is
Yeah,
kind of really
I like
nice.
that. Because especially I'm like on the later years of life, like
Yeah,
you want to build muscle now.
yeah,
And the importance of that and just getting in the gym and having a routine. And I like how you said people aren't, it's not just an open gym because a lot of people are afraid to go to the gym because they don't know what to do.
I completely agree with that. So I think there's definitely a market for people that want an open gym. What Jen and I discussed before was how what I've seen, because I did work in gyms before. I think what happens is people get excited, they're going to go in and they just think that everything's going to change. And what happens though, and it's sad, is that they get excited. The whoever the salesperson is going to tell them promise all these things, but what happens though is that they come in, they don't meet with a personal trainer. Maybe they're not taking advantage of the opportunity if it is there, or they can't afford it, whatever the variables may be. But what happens is they come in, they look at a couple of machines, they go up
It's
on,
a little overwhelming.
yeah, and then they just stick to this. I just do, like let's just say the row machine or the ski machine, whatever it may be, and then they do a couple of machines and they walk out, and they just do that every single time,
Yeah.
and they're not seeing change, not seeing progress, and they just get discouraged,
Yeah.
and that's it. And then also it can be intimidating setting, and that's what the
Or
opposite of what
even
we
like,
are.
how about this? I'm just an idea for people like looking to get in shape. Go see somebody like yourself, right?
Yeah,
And then if you're like, okay, I can go on my own, but learn how to the movements, learn the machines, learn like proper form so you don't get hurt
Yes.
before you step into an open gym.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we step in. So what's nice about us and what we hear from feedback from our clients is that they don't have to think about the workout. So they come in at one of our boot camp classes and we are teaching them what to do. We're their timer, we're their coach, we're making sure they're doing everything correctly, and we're moving them from station to station in a bigger group
Yeah.
setting, which can be intimidating as well, but we try to make everybody feel comfortable as soon as they walk in. We introduce ourselves, and we actually introduce ourselves to, like, I say veteran, but somebody that's been there for a while, friendly face. So when that individual comes in again, they can already see
Yeah.
somebody and be like, hey, I know so and so.
Yeah.
I feel a little more comfortable in the
Yeah.
setting, and then they get to know people, and then it becomes, because everybody at specific times kind of knows their people. You know what I mean? That's just kind of what happens. So I think there's definitely, for us, it's a market for people that just don't want to think about a workout. They want to come in, they want to work out, and then we can help them along the way, which is really nice. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then also, I remember you would take people to the trampoline place
Yes,
and then,
absolutely. Yeah. So,
pickleball and,
exactly. Yeah. So I really tried to create like a family atmosphere where you feel belong. You know what I mean? Like you're welcomed, and we do outside curricular activities. Like we play pickleball. Like you said, we went to the trampoline park. We do these things called like 6 week challenges, where it's just who can lose body fat, because we're not trying to lose. Anybody can lose weight by just not eating. What we want to do is we want to focus on people gaining muscle, but also losing body
Yeah, the
fat.
important part.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and exactly. So we want to focus on that. And then with those challenges, that's what we're doing extracurricular things outside of the gym and things as such. Actually, we literally just had a big powwow at the gym, and then we're actually thinking about doing like a ping pong tournament. Just like,
ah,
just for fun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just getting a bunch of tables and just doing something like that, inviting everybody and having a good time with it. So that's what we try to do, because we want to create that. Again, Ramona is a small town, but that that family atmosphere outside the gym as well.
Got
You
it.
know.
Got it.
what about that frisbee you were telling me about? That was
Oh man, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So we play ultimate frisbee. There's a group of us that plays, and then we try to get more people involved. And it's a really great game. It's again for people that are just looking for extra exercise, because it's literally you're doing wind sprints the entire time. But it's like,
Sure.
I mean, it's like a how do I put it? It's like soccer and football a little bit mixed up, but you're throwing a frisbee. You're a team of whatever, four, five, six, and you're throwing the frisbee. And once somebody catches the frisbee, they can't move, but they can
You
throw
gotta
it to
throw
their
it again.
partner.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then, but you're just literally on offense and defense, and it goes really fast. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I think our main focus is to, yes, we have our we do things at the gym, but we also do things outside the gym. We always throw a huge annual beach party on us, and we get it food and catered, and we want everybody and their family and
Yeah.
friends. You know what I
That
mean?
sounds
That's what
fun.
it is. And then everybody just feels belonged, and it's very welcoming. Is what we're trying to do. Not just things at the gym, but things outside the
Let's
gym.
touch on the athletes, the
Yeah.
youth and the college athletes. Tell us a little bit about that program.
So those are mostly like one-on-one clients, and then what we do is we also have like a 4 week or 6 week program that the individuals can sign up for, and then we have some trainers, Coach Troy, Coach Hannah, Coach Rachel. That Rachel was she was down at Coast, which is a very big volleyball clinic down there, and then Coach Troy, who's actually one of the high school football coaches. So we get them involved, and they're helping teach these kids just proper mechanics. I think a lot of even myself, when I was in high school, I didn't learn proper form, and now what we're trying to do is to help these kids with functional fitness, and then we can take them to that next level with stabilization, preventative injuries, what they're trying to build mass, speed, recovery, things like that a lot of kids don't know how to do. They just think lifting heavy is what we're going to do all the time, but there's a progression of that
Yeah,
program.
it's so important.
Yes, exactly. We want to make sure that they're not getting injured, they're not overloading those muscles and things
I
like
think
that.
that's like number one.
It is, and that's what we see a lot of injuries from. So working on stabilizing muscles and just reactive training too is huge, So kind of that's what we do in those 4 to 6 week programs that we do with those
Cool.
kids.
The youngest and the oldest.
Oh man. Okay, so I work with a 9-year-old, and this
Really?
kid's a stud. He's a soccer stud. We call him Little Chad. His name's Chad, and this kid's a beast. He actually travels to Europe
Yep.
once a year to go
Wow.
play soccer. Anyways, but his work ethic is. I strive for his work ethic just
At
because, like, he's
9.
determined when he comes in, he wants to do it, and we have a great time. But the kid's a stud. The oldest client, I have a client who's in their 80s, And then I also have a client, just kind of touching up on little things you asked about youth, but I also have a clients that I've worked with stroke victims.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So recently, Rick is a client of mine, and we got him on a bicycle,
Mm-hmm.
and his story is pretty amazing. I mean, from where he was in a wheelchair to now he's riding a bike.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's again, it's what we can do, and the willingness of the client and the willingness of the trainer to also kind of think outside the box,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what it really comes down to. We just can't write everything on a sheet of paper and be like, 5 reps, 6 reps. You know what I mean? It's like we gotta take those programs and base them for the individual and what their goals are,
Right.
and that's what really helps.
And I like that you make it inclusive. Like you said, that's a big thing.
Yeah, so I think like our boot camps, and I maybe it's my fault, but when I thought of my fictitious business name, it was ADMA Elite Training. I think people think it's like elite, and really it's just we have everybody working out together
Yeah.
in our group classes.
Maybe the trainers are elite. Like they're so well rounded that qualifies them as elite trainers. Like
I mean,
that's what
I
I
would
would,
say
that's
that.
how I see it.
I mean, we have phenomenal trainers who are really incredible people,
Yeah.
and each one of them has their own niche to
Skill set.
well, the skill set, and somebody that's going to work well with them, and like
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's not going to work well with me could work well with one of my other coaches,
Yeah.
and that's just the way it works. Personalities are different and everything. Um, but I think what about our boot camp classes, what's really nice is that we can all work out together. So we have
Mm-hmm.
people that are, doing this high rock challenge. We have people that do Spartan races that are, yeah, I mean, they're really conditioned, they're really in great shape. We have somebody that can just walk in
Mm-hmm.
and learn and adapt, because the way that we modify or intensify the exercise, we show that during the class,
Mm-hmm.
and so those individuals can modify or intensify that
I like that.
exercise. Yeah.
Just to improve.
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
right,
Exactly. Yeah. But we can all work out together. That's the great
right.
thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're in great shape, maybe I'm not. And but we can work out together, and we can push each other, and things like that. But we all got a great workout, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. We're not here to put anybody down or to say you don't belong. No, we want everybody to feel welcomed and to have a great time.
Yeah. What a special place. I think it's a necessity in a town like Ramona to
Thank
have
you.
something like that. I love it.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
Anthony grew up in Ramona.
I did.
Which-
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up there. I lived, yeah, graduated
Nothing
in class
better
of
than giving
2000.
back to your community.
I feel very fortunate to be able to
Purposed.
do that. Yeah, and I think there's a lot more that I can do, since I do have somewhat of a platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot more that we can take it and to help what I see is the youth of Ramona. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that we can improve on for our youth, and help them, just have activities and things like that to do.
I love
You
it.
know.
What would be your advice for somebody who wanted to get in shape? It was a New Year's resolution.
Oh yeah.
What's your best advice?
Oh, honestly, start small.
Yeah.
Aim small, and then what I mean by that is, like, whether it's like, for an example, let's just say that you're trying to lose weight. Okay, well, let's look at what you're doing. Let's track your food. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the individual could be, they could be in a surplus of calories of 1,000, and then we talk about that. Like, okay, what are some things that we can take back? So again, like, be like, is soda, because you're drinking 4 sodas a day. So maybe we should cut back on that soda and maybe only have one a day. Because I feel like when we make huge leaps and bounds of trying to change, we fail and we
Yeah.
get down on ourselves, and it's just not a good thing. So I think if we can set those small goals each week, then we can hit the bigger goal. And I think also being realistic with our clients and being real with ourselves and saying, this is going to take time.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be it's going to take time, but every single time that you make a little improvement, you're just helping yourself. And we have this thing, it's called an in-body scan. You stand on, put your arms on there, put your feet on there, and it does a full scan of your body. And what's
Oh, that's
awesome
cool.
about it, yeah, it's right. And then so we can see like muscle tone, body fat, BMI, everything, basal metabolic rate. Anyways, what's nice about it though is that it will track your history on the bottom. So every
Mm-hmm.
time you do it, every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, we can track your progress. And
I
then,
like
but
that.
then we compare it to what you're eating and your workouts and be like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, we are moving forward.
Make
Good.
adjustments.
That's exactly right.
Makes
So
it
you
more
can see your
objective.
progress because that
Yeah.
keeps you motivated.
Exactly. So if like an individual is, let's say, losing weight, that's
Uh-huh.
awesome. But then we look at their muscle tone,
Yeah.
but they're losing muscle. Okay,
I
so
love
maybe
it.
we need
Yeah.
to start adjusting your protein intake.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Little things like that we can help and guide them with.
See, that's the elite part.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's quality. I like
Yeah.
that.
Well, we want to make sure that those individuals are happy. And I mean, honestly, like, I think if you're not getting results, then why are you at that gym? You know what I
Yeah.
mean, or whatever. You know what I mean, and I
Yeah.
think that's what again kind of separates us from the bigger gyms is that it's a little.
Personalized.
Thank you. That's exactly right. It's personalized, and
Mhm.
then that I think that's what we really try to make is we want to know the individual's names when they walk in.
Mhm.
We want to make sure that they're hitting their goals. So we have like
Mhm.
a goal board each month. They write a little goal up there, and then we have like an accomplished side. So if they hit it, we put it over to the right, and that just makes them feel
Yeah.
good.
I like that.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm into it.
Hey, come on up.
Make
Come
it
try it
fun.
out.
Make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here and
Yeah.
sharing
No,
your
thank
story.
you.
And I'm 11 years in is a big deal. So I feel like you're doing something right.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
very blessed. Like I said, it wouldn't be for without my clients, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So they're doing a really great job.
Great.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for
Thanks
bringing
for
him.
coming.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for watching Discover Ramona, and we'll see you next time.